DJ Mix Master Chaos. DJ Mix Master Chaos.
What up, people? Happy Father's Day to whoever that is, Facebook user. Now hold on a second. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Now, got my volume down. What's up, people? It's your boy DJ Chaos, the Mix Master, aka Chaos Theory, and it's just our opinion podcast, broadcasting live and direct in Winfield, Alabama. Chilling like a villain on this Father's Day / Juneteenth. Now, it's the first time in history you have two holidays in one. On one day, rather. I guess. Never heard of nothing like this before. But, it is what it is. Shit. I mean, I had to do a lot of researching on, Juneteenth. And from what I was told and from what I read, Juneteenth really is supposed to be a holiday for the folks in Texas, black people in Texas, supposedly. I don't know where the hell they trying to, I guess, and now they done made it a national holiday, which is kind of weird to me. So I don't know. It's kind of goofy. Let's see. I'm trying to see what the hell is going on with my camera. Oh, that was Marco that said Happy Father's Day. What's up, bro? Appreciate it. Appreciate the love, man. That was Marco that said Happy Father's Day. Well, I'm trying to figure out why my damn camera is not on. It's on. I don't know, Facebook be doing some sucky shit. That's why I like to go. Let me see what it look like on YouTube. Let's see what it's like on YouTube. This is weird. Come on. I didn't get no camera. It's kind of weird. Let's see. Come on here. Okay, let's see what's going on now. There we go. God damn. I don't know what the hell happened. I was drinking when I was fucking with this camera. I don't know. But anyway, I was wondering why I ain't see nothing. I had my damn HD off. But it's on now. What's up, people? Happy Father's Day to all the real fathers and fake fathers out there. Shit, you still a father too, goddammit. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? You might be bad at what you do, but you're still a father. Sometimes, things don't always be what it always supposed to be. I mean, shit. It is what it is. You got some lousy baby mamas out here. You know what I'm saying? Shit. So I mean, either way it go, ain't nobody better than the next motherfucker. But anyway. I guess my camera is working correctly now. Let me see. Go back on Facebook. Let me tell you. But when you be on the road, man, it's kind of rough. Yeah, okay. But when you be on the road, man, I be moving things around and stuff, so it be kind of messing up my audio. Messing up my camera, messing up my mic, all kind of shit. But hey, we here though. We here. Hopefully the viewers will get up on here. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to all the fathers. of the world. It is what it is. Happy Juneteenth, all that goof ass shit, you know. But like I said, I was doing some researching on Juneteenth, and from what I got off of Juneteenth is now a government holiday, like President Day, Christmas, Easter, Halloween, all this old goof ass shit out here nowadays. So whatever. But it is what it is. Much love to you guys that's celebrating Juneteenth. I mean, I'm kind of a bit feeling a little bit different about Juneteenth than most, because I think anytime if the government basically giving you a green light on something, it's always a method to the madness. Juneteenth ain't what it ought to be, you know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, motherfuckers will tell you, well, they finally gave us black people a holiday. You know, I mean, even to the fact that they gave you they said, yeah, the slaves were free. They were emancipated. I've always could never get that word right for shit. I get tongue tied when I say that. You know what I'm saying? I guess it was 1877, some shit like that. Up in Texas. And I guess the black military, you know, our brothers went there and basically told Texas to let our people go. Like Moses, I guess, and free the slaves, because that's supposed to be the only state in the country at that particular time that didn't know they were free. Blacks didn't know they were free, supposedly. And they finally made, after all these years, made it a holiday. Oh, whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo, whoop-de-doo. You know me, but I've always said there's always a method to the madness when it comes down to these holidays and carrying on and stuff, because I always know there's something behind it. That's why I'm saying I've got kind of mixed feelings about Juneteenth. So, you know, I mean, shout out to you guys that represent Juneteenth. You know, it is what it is. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the fact that they, you know, basically let black people glorify the African flag. You know, the motherland. I mean, our flag colors red, black, and green. You know what I'm saying? And most of us that basically, you know, repping the red, black, and green don't even know what those colors even mean. You know, but I know what they mean. You know, basically, I mean, simple. Red for the bloodshed of our people. Black is for the melanin of our skin. And green is for the motherland, where we were born on, where we come from, the land. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I remember back in the days, they didn't even want to recognize the red, black, and the green. And they don't even want to recognize it now, some of the Caucasian people. I've seen posters even on the news and stuff where, you know, white people feel some kind of way about this holiday. And they are. Because, I mean, you know, they don't want to acknowledge our upcoming in reality. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to tell you quietly that their ancestors, relatives, or whatever, have told them that we were nothing but slaves. You know, most white people will tell you that's not true, but you know, they ain't gonna tell you that it's a lie, because a lot of them know that they basically benefit themselves off of the things that we created. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's inventions of machinery, you know what I'm saying, food, I mean, shit, music, dancing, everything we create they got a benefit off of. They make a big profit off of. You know, I mean, I can tell you a lot of things about hip hop. You know, I've always said that hip hop is being destroyed, and it's being destroyed for one reason. It's because we created it. And the thing of it is, when hip hop first started out, it basically was telling a story about how we live in society. And that was one of the biggest reasons why they was making a push to change the music in hip hop, because their kids started listening to the music because they seen we was enjoying it, pop locking, break dancing, you know, doing graffiti work, shit, DJing. You know what I'm saying? We doing everything, and we were just enjoying it. And so the kids, their kids, seeing what we were doing, they said, "Wow, that seems to be pretty fun. I like that." Not to mention, the message was there too. So they like, wait a minute, our kids listening to this shit? Yeah, because it's kind of hard to explain why Public Enemy is talking about Elvis Presley and John Wayne. You know, that's a fight for the power reference. You know what I'm saying? You know, and they like, Dad, why was Malcolm X assassinated? Do you know why? Why did they do this thing, do stuff to Martin Luther King like that? And he don't have no answers, because he damn sure ain't finna tell you the truth and say, well, you know, we killed Malcolm X, we killed Dr. King. No, they ain't gonna say no shit like that. They're just gonna say, don't ask me no questions. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. Boom. Then they're gonna go, if they basically know somebody that runs the industry, go in there and tell, hey man, I need to change this goddamn shit up, because these motherfuckers got our kids questioning us about what happened to black people and why black people are in poverty stricken areas and things of that. And I ain't got time to be answering that, because I already know why they're there. We put them there for a reason, so we can benefit off of them. And I can't tell my kids that, because I won't be able to sleep at night, them knowing that we make it basically benefiting off of the backs of black people's stupidity. So they had to go in there and change the hip hop music. And that's just what they did. They went in there and destroyed it. Yep, they went in there and destroyed it. And here we are in 2022. You see all these young rappers rapping about nothing. Got banging beats. Don't get me wrong, the beats, the craft is A1. But the music, but the lyrics, hot garbage juice. And I know, because I used to do rap music back in the days. And one thing about it, we talked our shit, you know what I'm saying, but I guarantee you can understand it. Versus this shit now, you can't understand it. And it really don't matter if you can understand it or not. Because the music is being on the mainstream, they put it out here, for the whole world to see. And guess what? Boom. On point. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, they don't care about if I like it or not, because I'm a old school generation. I'm motherfucking Generation X, as they call it. You know what I'm saying? I'm a 70s baby, so they don't give a fuck about my generation. They care about the 99 and the 90s and 2000 babies. And some of the 80s babies, late 80s babies. They don't care about me. And nobody else back the other way, you know, from the 70s on back up. Care less about what we think. They think about the youngins. But anyway, tonight's topic, man, is basically simple. You know what I'm saying? Is what I came up with today. Is what is Father's Day? Well, Father's Day to me is just like any other holiday. It's just a day that they basically label to give homage to all the fathers of the world. A lot of times I find myself to think that, especially black fathers, we don't get enough recognition, we don't get enough props. And the reason why we don't get enough recognition and enough props because they're not in the situation. They're not in the lives of their kids like they're supposed to be. And it's not because a lot of the fathers are deadbeat. It's because a lot of times it can be misconstrued on the mother side of the game. I'm not saying that all men are not good. Are good, whatever the case may be. But, either way it goes, it's a two-way street. Because you should know what you pick and what you don't pick. You can't blame the man himself saying, well, hell, he was cool when I first met him, then I got pregnant. Now he ain't about nothing. What? He wasn't about nothing when you got with him. You just was ignoring the signs because you was trying to make your push to get pregnant. That's what I believe. Most women sit up there and make up all types of excuses about black men, being deadbeats and stuff. But, they said so much to where it started to ring a bell. Deadbeat father, deadbeat. But you never hear deadbeat mother, But they are deadbeat mothers out there. And the deadbeat mothers are the ones who basically don't want to held her side of the point of responsibility. And that's like her going out here and basically opening her legs up to every Tom, Dick, and James out there, you know what I'm saying? And then want to play the victim role when she gets pregnant all of a sudden. Now it's the man's fault, you know what I'm saying? It ain't her fault, only way it becomes the man's fault if she was held by gunpoint and he made her get pregnant. But if it was through love and emotion, that was your fault. You know what I'm saying? Because you could have told him to put a condom on. Or you could have gave him a condom. It's a two-way street. But for the most part, us as black men, sometimes we kind of make mistakes. We make big mistakes ourselves because we get to the point where we don't take care of things or responsibility like we're supposed to. But a lot of times it's different strokes, different folks, different climates of life out here in society that causes all kind of different types of chain reactions to where the father, the mother, and the child gets in a bit of a dysfunctional complex. And what I mean by that is the way the system got everything set up in the black community. It was always set up to the fact where the man, when I was coming up anyway, and before I was born, it's been always the man being the front runner of the house. The man will be out working. He'll be doing his part, taking care of his responsibility, while the mother be at home watching the child. So she really didn't have too much to worry about because she was at home doing her womanly duties, And the system of white supremacy watches us and they see everything that we do because they learn from us. Everything that black people do in this society, Caucasian people learn from us. Plain and simple, believe it or not. Take it a little alone. Even though you might say, well, that's not possible. It's very possible because you got to think about it. If you really do a history lesson on when black women were maids or mammies or whatever the hell you want to call them when they was in white people's homes, caretaking their homes as well as their child. See, white people really didn't caretake their kids. It was the black mammy that basically caretake the child, the white child. And it got to the point where the child respected the mammy more than they respected their mother, the biological mother and father. They would talk back to them and tell them to shut up or whatever the case may be. They would never whoop them. But the mammy would get in there like little girl's ass or white boy's ass for the father or the mother. And a lot of times she'll take care of the white child better than she take care of her own. Believe it or not. But he knew that Caucasian man, he knows that the black woman knows how to get things done and make things happen because he basically watched what she do for her own family and her own husband. But like I said, we lost sight of a lot of that stuff from way back in the days, and it all started with, I've always said it, after the King's assassination. Dr. King, when he got killed in 1968, I'm just going to be honest, the U.S. federal government, United States government, CIA, FBI, went in to the black community and basically ramshacked the economy side of the game and helping strip the jobs and benefits of black men, because they was tired of being sick and tired of us standing up for ourselves and our family. So they went in there and took all the skills that paid the bills, like all the factories that used to be in black neighborhoods, tire factories, car factories, contractors, brick mason, all that stuff. Everything that basically helped put money, put food on the table and clothes on their backs. They paid pretty good back in the days. They took all of it from our community, and they basically swapped sides. They gave the black women the jobs, the good paying jobs and the good education, while we sat at home unemployed and fucked up. Now, while we unemployed and fucked up, guess what happens? We started to get into the point of drugs, or the drug trade, because we're trying to clear our minds, knowing that everything, I can't find a job. My job then moved over into Mexico or China or whatever. All the job that I had is over in another country, or it's in another state so far away from where I live. So what should I do? What can I do? Be an alcoholic or a drug addict. They brought drugs into the black community in the late 70s, early 80s. And it really started a real impact. Because now you got everybody walking around like zombies and looking crazy and dying. And even the kids are getting immune to the drugs and stuff. And then, not to mention, even to the guys that were getting high off crack or whatever and having babies, having sex with women, and they making what they call crack babies. They growing up with heavy hypertension and autism and all type of stuff, man. It's just, like I say, we've been at war. They've been at war with us. black men anyway. And it got to the point now that most black women in society don't even care to even have a decent conversation with us black men. And it's by design. Because, my theory is I'm just thinking they basically want to see us wiped off the face of the earth. But here's the catch right here. I believe that if it gets to the point where they try to wipe us off the face of the earth, the planet's going to be destroyed one way or the other with them. Because I don't care how many times you try to do things to us as black men, because one thing about it, they think we might try to go to war with them. They want us to go to war with them, but we not going to go to war with them. Because black men, just like black women, we are very spiritual beings. We come from this planet. We are the original people of this planet. And we are very spiritual people. And one thing about us being very spiritual and real on this planet, it doesn't matter if they get out here and just start shooting us down in the streets. Because bad is going to come to them one way or the other. And this is not a threat against white supremacy. This is a promise. Because it's already happening as we speak. That's why they study fucking with us. Because they say in the next 10, 15 years, this is going to be a predominantly black and brown country. That they can't produce babies like they're supposed to. You think they would just give you the hokey pokey because they want you to feel healthy, to be healthy and live better lives in this country? Miss me with that. That's the last thing on their mind. For real. That's the last thing on their mind. They don't want you to be healthy. Healthy for what? They ain't benefiting them none. They trying to survive. They care less about what you got going on. But see, a lot of times, by me talking like this, most people say, come on, Chaos, you sound like you're a racist or whatever. I can never be racist. A black man could never be racist. He can be mad as hell, but he can never be racist. I don't own shit. They got everything. Now, I can talk about it all day long. It doesn't matter. You should be able to say anything you want to say. But in a way, they don't want you to say everything you want to say, because when you say everything you want to say, you start to rattle bones in the land that are dead. You ever heard the sign in the Bible? You ever heard it in the Bible about the bones rattling in the desert or on the land or whatever? How God basically made the bones rattle. Hey, a lot of times people watch my podcast and I don't ask for nothing. I don't ask for no cash app. I don't ask for no super chat. I don't ask for nothing. I just do it because I love it. You know what I'm saying? And I do it because I know that even with the views, it might be high and it might be low. But somebody listening, trust me, and that's how I have to be. We have to each reach one, teach one, educate each other, love one another, be there for each other. That's all I've been doing for the longest. I ain't never said in a million years that I don't have no flaws. Yeah, I have flaws. We all have flaws. We all made mistakes. We all done things that we didn't want to do. You have to learn. One thing about it, when you make a mistake, you have to learn from your mistake that you made. Because ain't nobody walking a straight line. Everybody gonna walk a crooked line every now and again. And they know it. Trust me, they know it. But what is Father's Day? Father's Day is just another day for me. And it's another day for everybody else, But at the same time, it's a special day for the economy that want to make money. But they make more money on Mother's Day than they do Father's Day. Because women, y'all get invited to a restaurant, eat dinner, cookouts, flowers and candy, breakfast in bed, everything. Men, we get a happy Father's Day. Might get a pair of socks and some drawers. Maybe a bacon and egg sandwich. I don't know. But I mean, I ain't tripping about that because it's just a normal day. It's just a normal day to me. I mean, think about it. Look at me. I'm out here. I'm doing my podcast in my truck. I'm not at home. You know, if Father's Day was really a day that I could really enjoy, I'd be proud about, I'd be at home chilling. But I'm not. It's just a normal day for me. You know. But, you know, another thing about Father's Day, you know, shout out to my single black women. I love you to death. But y'all need to stop putting yourself in a position of being a man when you know you're a woman. Because I see a lot of y'all get out here and y'all can say Happy Father's Day to me because I'm raising my child by myself. Okay. I can dig that. But your gender is what says it all. Because you are a woman. At the end of the day, you're not a man. I don't care if you go and get the surgery done. Your genetic code of gender as a woman is still there all day, every day. That's the same for a man. If a man get his man cut off, he's still a man. Either way to go. He just ain't got it swinging and dangling no more, but he's still a man. And one thing about it, this society, this new generation, new normal shit, they trying to do their best to try to swap genders, trying to make the man the woman the man. Stupid as hell. I don't support it, and I ain't gonna support it. Now, anybody else want to support it? It's beyond me. Do what you want. But me, I don't support it. Because if I support it, I'm no better than that person that supports it. But, you know, one thing I gotta say, we all ain't perfect. We all gonna make mistakes. But, you know, my thing is, sometimes we gotta learn how to research and find out things and learn things and get an understanding about things in order to make things better in our lives. Stop worrying about what somebody else tell you, what they feel about you, whatever the case may be. Because a lot of times, most people that go swapping to the opposite sex are basically somebody that's been touched the wrong way, been raped, been hurt by men, or insecure about the way they look, the way their body look made up, or whatever the case may be. It's all kind of ways that basically put people in the same gender scenario. And I don't hate people that put themselves in that position. I really don't. That's stupid as hell if you hate the person for that, because they don't know. And if they don't know, you can't be mad at them for not knowing. Most people will say, well, they should know. Nah. Sometimes it don't work that way. That's just like a lot of times you get in your car. You used to get in your car every morning to go to work. But you ain't never used to just getting up and get to your vehicle and open up the tank. Open the top up on the tank and looking to see if there's sugar in the tank. No, because you automatically think that ain't nobody gonna mess with my car. Ain't nobody got no business messing with my car because I don't mess with nobody. But as soon as you crank your car up, it won't crank. What's wrong with my car? Why is my car not cranking? What the hell is wrong with it? I just had a tune-up the other day. Then a mechanic come along and check your car out for you. And he said, I'm gonna tell you what your problem is. You ain't gonna like it. What? Somebody put some sugar in your tank. What? Now who in the fuck will put some sugar in my tank? See, that's how that. See how that works. So I mean, like I say, you gotta, we have to learn to be careful on how we basically see people and judge people, because a lot of times we don't know what a person is going through. I just, like I was telling my best friend Manuel. Shout out to my boy Manuel Shump. I was telling him earlier today. Manuel likes to drink. Everybody knows it. But do people really know why Manuel drink? Most people don't. Most people don't know why Manuel drink. Because most people haven't been around Manuel. They just see Manuel for what it is. And then most people will judge Manuel because of what his mother went through. Most people judge me on certain things. I know when I first moved to Hollandale, Mississippi in the 90s, people was already talking shit about me. Or talking shit about my father. God rest his dead. They couldn't stand Robert King Sr. They couldn't stand Maurice King Sr. either. They didn't like neither one of us. And I used to always ask myself, what the fuck did I do for these people to talk about me and do what they do? And then when I started to do my years of research on why people didn't like me, what I found was they just ignorant like that. And that it doesn't matter about them knowing you or not for them not to like you. It's just people like to try to rub you the wrong way to see how they can get to you. See if they can basically rub off their insecurity disease onto you. That's what it is. Because there's a lot of insecure motherfuckers in town. In Hollandale. A lot of insecure motherfuckers. I ain't got to call their names out. They know who they are. Men and women. They know who they are. And the reason why they're like that is because a lot of them never been outside of Hollandale to see what the other world is like. See, if you go outside of the city of Hollandale and see the other side of the world, you'll realize that what y'all doing, they not doing. Because motherfuckers on the other side doing some shit. While y'all motherfuckers sitting around there talking shit about the next motherfucker. Not doing nothing. Because see, one thing about when I first moved to Hollandale back in the 90s, I really didn't want to be there. Because I knew it was going to be boring, country, and crazy as hell. Because my sister had already told me, like, you don't want to go down there, boy. Some folks, you ain't going to understand shit out down there because you're not country. You're not from the country. My mama told me, regardless if I didn't want to go or not, I was going. And I am so glad that she told me. Because I used to always think, if I would have still been staying in South Central, Inglewood, or whatever, how my life would be like. If I didn't made a move to Hollandale. But I realized that when I moved to Hollandale, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. The best thing. Most people might say, man, fuck Hollandale. Hollandale ain't shit. I'm from Hollandale. I don't give a fuck about that town. Well, okay, that's you. It's some things that I see in that town that most people from Hollandale don't see. Because I've met a lot of interesting people in that town. A lot of them that I've met, they're not around anymore. They're deceased. And then there's some that's still around that I'm cool with, that I pretty much admire. But more of the story is that I used to always feel some type of way about being in Hollandale and about people saying things about me because I started to believe what they were saying about me was true when it wasn't. That's what I had to realize. I'm like, man, fuck, you motherfuckers don't know me. Why am I tripping? I'm looking like a bitch right now. I ain't got no business being letting these motherfuckers get to me for what, damn. Whatever. You know? Because I mean, like now, even when I go home to Hollandale, it's a sign of relief to get the house. Because like I said, I don't socialize with nobody. I don't hang out with nobody. I don't, all my good friends and stuff, they don't even live in Hollandale no more. You know, I mean, I might got 1, 2, 3 maybe that's still in Hollandale. The rest, close partners that I've hung out with, they staying all over the country. And you couldn't pay them $10 million to a bucket of shit to move back to Hollandale. Because, they got their ways, they got their mindset to think, hey, ain't nothing in that motherfucking town for me. Fuck, I'm coming back there for. And I can understand that. I can respect that. But just me, because see, like I said, me and my cousin, we got property there. I got my vehicles there. So I'm there. But anyway, I guess my brother Dark Prince ain't coming on tonight. Shout out to him. He probably be he probably be up to doing something. But I'm gonna move right along on the Juneteenth thing. I was talking about Juneteenth earlier, and there was a sister. I had a video of a sister who basically broke down what Juneteenth meant. And I'm gonna show that clip in a second. But I ain't gonna lie, I was looking at this one video. Looking at this news group page and looking at the white people just laughing about us glorifying Juneteenth and saying little stuff. But, a lot of times, it be trolls, internet trolls. And internet trolls, that's what they do. Their claim to fame is to agitate the masses. And what I mean by agitate the masses, that's their job, is to piss you off. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times you have to be very, very careful to not intervene with these people, because a lot of times you could be arguing at the computer like a bot. It's not really real, Then you got some people just some straight dumbasses for real. Now that I do know. And then you got some people that, they just don't care. They just want to get on there just to say something, just to piss somebody off, because they already know you ain't gonna find out their location, where they live at, or whatever the case may be, or try to whoop their ass. They don't care. So, Yep. So, you know how that is. But I'm gonna show this clip. Let me see. I'm gonna show this clip on what the sister said Juneteenth is about. Let me see if I can find it.
What is Juneteenth and why do we celebrate it? Juneteenth marks the day that all slaves were freed in the United States. Although the Emancipation Proclamation was issued in 1863, slavery wasn't completely abolished until 2 years later. On June 19th in 1865, 250,000 enslaved black people in Texas who were never informed of their freedom were finally told that they were free. June 19th marks the day when everyone in the United States was officially free, and that's why we celebrate Juneteenth.
I said 1877. I don't know what the fuck happened in 1877. I think something that was still on some politics shit. 1877. I think it was something about the Republicans and Democrats or some shit. Black people were once upon a time was Republicans or some shit. So that's what it is. I just got my years mixed up. But 1865. That's what it was. And that was also the same year Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. Yeah, but anyway, let's see what I got going on. Yeah, yeah. Let me see. I know I got a clip. Show y'all something on Juneteenth holiday. I guess it's a festival. I'm thinking they have one. Let's see if I can find it. I think I seen a video on it. And I want to check it out. But we celebrating the new holiday, Juneteenth. Well, I'm not celebrating it. Like I say, I know it's something behind all that shit. And I've always said it's always a method to the madness. There's always a method of the madness. If the government gives it to you, you already know it's something behind all that. But they claim that we free, the sound of freedom, they say. I see ABC done something on this. I see somebody made a little video here. This is out of Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas affiliate, CBS affiliate.
Riverside. If you record podcasts remotely, you have.
We're gonna go in and check this out.
This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves. And the connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between employer and hired labor. The freedmen are advised to remain quietly at their present homes and work for wages. They are informed that they will not be allowed to collect at military posts and that they will not be supported in idleness, either there or elsewhere.
Freedom was very important to them.
Here in Galveston, you're at ground zero of where the Juneteenth message began, and really on sacred ground.
It's more than just a celebration.
A matter of pride and joy and empowerment in my community.
Once they were rejoined with the families, the hard work of becoming economically self-sufficient went into play.
The 40 acres promise was made, but unfortunately it was not kept.
Is the American dream for me, or is it only for people who don't look like me?
A lot of people, they look at slavery as if it didn't happen.
No one can say, oh, that's not my history. No, it is. We all fall into that history.
Juneteenth, 1865 to 2022, the pursuit of economic equality.
Galveston, Texas has long been one of the largest ports in the United States and is still thriving today with tourism and cruise ships.
Yeah, this coastal town was once the largest city in Texas thanks to commercial business. But instead of cruise ships, slave ships used to dock at this very location.
The economy of the 1800s depended on rice, cotton, and sugarcane plantations.
Plantation owners relied on slave labor. So much so, they actually ignored the Emancipation Proclamation of 1863 until June 19th, 1865.
Juneteenth is the date, June 19, 1865, when Major General Gordon Granger issued General Order Number 3 here in Galveston, which stated in the first sentence that all slaves are free, and in the second sentence, this involves an absolute equality. And it happened here on the southwest corner of 22nd and Strand in Galveston at the Osterman, that's some pronounced Osterman building.
You know, old Marshall didn't tell you, it was free. He didn't tell you that? No, he didn't tell. They wait till, I think now they said they wait them 6 months out of that. 6 months. And turn them loose on the 19th of June. That's why, you know, we celebrate that day. Color folks. Celebrate that day.
After Juneteenth, newly freed slaves were promised 40 acres of land to start their new lives.
But that would be one of many promises broken. This year, we're taking a look at the financial impact that slavery had all the way back in the 1800s to now in present day 2022.
But to truly understand Juneteenth, you must first understand slavery.
Galveston was a major commercial center like other port cities, Charleston, New Orleans. Many ships would have come in with enslaved people.
You're talking about, a source of free labor. The owners could work these enslaved people from sunrise to sunset, continuously raising the bar on what they must produce each day. And there was no one to monitor that. There was no one to say that's too much or this is inhumane. So yes, it was an incredible source of wealth for the slave owners.
So the total value of the enslaved population for their owners was approximately $4 billion. It's estimated that the entire wealth of the United States at that point was approximately $16 to $17 billion. The wealth that was embodied in enslaved human beings was essentially 1/4 of the total wealth of the United States.
I mean, Texas is an interesting one too. You got more land if you had more enslaved people to put on it.
Rice University is where the past meets the present. The founder of the university, William Marsh Rice, was a wealthy man and a slave owner himself. Today, the university is acknowledging and attempting to right some of William Rice's wrongs by moving his monument and continuing important research and work in the area of African American studies.
So we're here in Fondren Library, which is the central library at Rice University.
We have been using ship manifests, namely, to see how many people were transported to the Texas Gulf Coast in the 1800s. This is to add information to the slave voyages database. Each individual enslaved person gets their own entry. Here is Virginia. She's listed as a female, 30 years old. Usually where that class column is, it's usually talking about skin color. Here are her 2 daughters, Louisa, 7-year-old, and Amelia, 2 years old.
It tells about where people came from, where they were taken, how many people were involved, and it helps segments of the population in the Americas to trace their history, tell their stories, a population that had been denied that right for many, many years.
Professor Dr. Daniel Dominguez recruits student researchers like Victoria and Caitlin to gather, collect, and document slave ships destined for Texas.
Transatlantic Slave Trade Database, and click there. You see the pathway, a short description of it, and you can click read more. You get all the details.
Every ship that we've documented are coming from either New Orleans, Mobile, or Savannah, with New Orleans being where the vast majority of we're sailing from.
Each dot represents a voyage.
They took about 33 hours, according to some newspaper sources. This was just a quick turnaround back and forth.
Galveston definitely was the largest port, the most active, but by far not the only one. We have documented at least 27 ports along the Gulf Coast.
Ports as far south as the Rio Grande Valley and Brownsville,
I'm actually from Brownsville, Texas, and I've never heard of any of this history there.
This was another one of the manifests that we came across during our research. The shipper or owner, technically the enslaver, his name is Mirbeau Lamar, and if that sounds familiar, it's because he was the second president of the Republic of Texas. His name is on street signs and counties and schools.
Universities, yes.
Universities.
Nearly 40% of the enslaved people transported to the Texas coast were actually infants or children. They were listed on these manifests by themselves, and it's really honestly heartbreaking.
And also very elderly people. We've seen people in their 90s, even I think 100.
Not only were enslavers in Texas really focused on the productive aspect of slavery, but also the reproductive aspect of slavery, and how they were hoping that they could continue growing the numbers of enslaved people without having to transport them.
The impacts of those voyages and the slave trade themselves, they're still evident today.
Oh yes, all around us, and not just in terms of our social and economic disparities. It is in our legacy, in our heritage, right? In some of the buildings we enter, we walk, people that we meet, all around.
Many enslaved people came from West Africa. They went through unspeakable treatment in what are known as slave dungeons and slave castles. Elmina Castle in Ghana can be toured today.
They were captured from near and far. Some were even captured and brought from different countries. Some had to walk several kilometers down here. Some had to walk for not less than 2 weeks before getting to the coasts.
And here's a look at what's called the House of Slaves in Senegal's Gorée Island.
This is the famous dog of no return. And the reason why they call it the dog of no return was that back in the slavery days, once the slaves put one step out, they never come back again. Never.
And right here on Pier 21, a Middle Passage marker commemorating Africans taken from their homeland and brought here to Galveston, many of whom died along the way.
I think the primary way in which human beings were bought and sold, though, was at formal auction sites. That's not the exclusive way, but there were formal auction sites where people would bid on human property.
If you go back and review newspapers, you can read advertisements for the many slave sales or sales of Negroes or enslaved people.
That's why we refer to it as chattel slavery, in the sense that individuals who were owned and treated no differently from, say, the possession of cattle.
And individuals were assigned a value on the moment of their birth, on the way to their death.
It was property everyone recognized had value. So this was an asset that families could control generation over generation over generation, just another way of building wealth. The value of an individual was around $1,000.
Women were perceived as valuable because they could produce more enslaved people. On the other hand, the men would be more likely to be in the artisanal category.
Historians say the Sydney Slave Auction House was the largest in the 1850s, and it stood on this block.
The very same block where the Absolute Equality mural now honors the true meaning of Juneteenth.
Now go ahead and sing one of those Steamboat songs.
You see that sort of like when you go to work.
Yeah.
I think I am the Captain Cold. Blow, honey, blow, oh, blow, honey, blow, oh, blowing cold, loud and mournful, blow, honey, blow. Way back in slavery time, I was standing at that's when the nigger were free. And he brought them hound in and brought 3 niggers. With them hound runaway niggers, you know. Right across at the creek there, they take down niggers and put them on a log going down the pavement. And hook them. Let them niggers fall in the train. Then they take them out down and put them in jail.
After Juneteenth, the Reconstruction era began, where formerly enslaved blacks immediately became politicians.
Matthew Gaines was a senator. George T. Ruby was a senator, actually elected here in Galveston in 1869.
Even became sheriffs in some areas and opened businesses, moving to areas like Houston to build their own communities like the 3rd, 4th, and 5th wards. They also fought to get their education since slaves were not allowed to read or write.
50 miles outside of Houston, off Highway 290, is the campus of Prairie View A&M University. It was founded during Reconstruction in 1876, 11 years after Juneteenth.
Prairie View A&M is a direct result of Juneteenth. So we get our first graduates like in the 1880s. This first generation went out and the majority of them became educators, because it was a need in the African-American community during this time to educate the formerly enslaved who didn't know how to read or write or count.
The land where Prairie View sits was once home to Alta Vista Plantation, spread over 3,000 acres with 300 to 400 slaves. And recently, something quite rare happened. The descendants of the plantation owners reached out to the university, wanting to collaborate with students and staff in the push for social and racial equality. Becky Vanderslice and her daughters, Allison and Mara, are descendants of Jared Kirby, who was the master of the plantation from 1849 to 1865.
Why do you decide to openly talk about this very uncomfortable part of your family history?
I felt it was really important to stand up and declare this really did happen and my family was part of it, and to acknowledge that.
When she was about 9 years old, Becky remembers her grandmother in Houston showing her a probate document listing the names of slaves at Alta Vista Plantation, along with their ages. The document verifying a difficult truth for the family.
It's made me very angry. It's made me very sad. I think it's also made me more empathetic.
Becky, the family matriarch, says members of her church in Colorado encouraged her to reach out to the university.
I heard you say in an interview you were afraid to contact the university. Why?
I did not know how I'd be received. I didn't know who to speak to.
She ended up talking to the right person. Phyllis Earls is the university library archivist. She vividly remembers that first conversation.
Then she started talking about the Kirby family. And then she said, I'm one of the descendants. And I remember her saying that, I want to talk to you, but I wasn't sure how I'll be received. I said, I've been waiting for someone from the Kirby family to call.
Oh, 8,000 acres.
8,000 acres of land.
300 slaves.
Yeah.
The three women finally visited the Prairie View campus in May. A family with a complicated past now joining the conversation about bringing people together.
I think so important that we come forward to talk about what really happened. And I think to be a model for other white families that could partner with historic Black colleges and universities and others to tell the fullness of this story. And frankly, we're seeing a movement in our country with laws passed in legislatures across the country trying to have us stop having these conversations, to make it harder for people to have these conversations. I think we should be doing more of it, and especially when it's uncomfortable. I think it helps you grow and stretch, and I hope it can mean that we can be better partners and community members with all of the people in our communities.
Juneteenth ended slavery, but it meant newly freed Texans would begin their pursuit of economic equality with practically nothing.
A woman who was interviewed when she was 105 in the 1930s, and she was a slave on the Alta Vista plantation. And she tells a story when she was a slave, she never had shoes. So, you know, our relative never gave shoes. When she got her first pair of shoes, after emancipation, when she was freed, she said that she sometimes hated to wear them and she would just look at them with pride. And so I feel like that just really captures how horrific and how limited the experience was when they were slaves. And then, you know, just the mundane everyday things that became such amazing examples of what they were then able to have after emancipation.
Conversely, according to the Texas A&M Board of Trustees records, The Kirby family sold Alta Vista Plantation to the state of Texas in 1876 for $15,787. That's about $426,000 in today's money.
I mean, we started out with this horrific history of people being enslaved, and now it's a place of opportunity for hundreds and thousands, well, thousands of African American students that now on this very land are able to build their dreams for their own careers and their own families. And so I think we're very proud to see that outcome. But really, that's what I hope our story is. It's a very American story. And we're always trying to, move in the progress of social and racial justice and equality as we're trying to perfect our country. So to me, it's just like a little slice of our country's history.
All right. We're back. A little bit of history lesson of Juneteenth extravaganza. Man, it's a lot of history, boy. A lot of stuff that I didn't know nothing about. You know what I'm saying? I mean, whew, boy. But, it's no surprising because, I mean, these are things that we really need to know about in society as Black people. We don't need to close our eyes to situations like that because one thing about it is all type of history in all different types of races, different types of race on this planet. The Jews got their thing on the Holocaust. The Japanese people got their thing on Hiroshima. Things with Haiti, with the French and whatever the case may be. It's just so much history that we basically close our eyes to, well, it ain't got nothing to do with me today's society. Well, yes, it does, because yesterday always consists of today's and the future's past. Future's layout. Whatever goes on way back in the days will reflect you in today and tomorrow's situations. Because, I feel like that Black people should learn more and be more responsible about the history of Juneteenth and many other days of history, because Juneteenth is just one spoke in the wheel on Black history. We need to know about other things like Black Wall Street, the Civil Rights Movement, the original days where the slave ships first hit dock on the U.S. soil. Even though they said it's been documented 1619 in, was it Youngstown, Virginia, something like that. But the real first ships that sailed out were in 1555, according to the Uncle Elijah Muhammad. And it's been documented too if you go to the Masonic Museum in Washington, D.C., of a ship called the Good Ship Jesus that was powered by Sir John Hawkins. You can look this up in Google. And this was like one of the first slave ships that sailed out. And the whole concept of the word, the Good Ship Jesus, that should make you wonder why. But, I'm not going to go there with the religion. I'm going to leave that alone about the Jesus situation, because I know a lot of Black people love Jesus Christ. That's your personal Lord and Savior. But just imagine, just think about it. You are on a slave ship called the Good Ship Jesus. That's just like me riding in my truck, working for a company called the Happy Little Nigga. Would I be driving it? Hell no. I would think, I would believe not. I ain't gonna say think, I will believe not. I will be driving for a company called the Happy Little Nigga trucking company. What? But, you know, that's just something to think about. That's just Chaos's theory. You know what I'm saying? That's just my theory, because a lot of us don't even know a lot of these things, you know. But now they done made it a national holiday, and you wonder why did they make it a national holiday after all these years? And I believe it's because it's a distraction. It's a distraction. Why is it a distraction, Chaos? Why you say it's a distraction? Well, let's look at it. Out of all the stuff that we done been through, with the police shooting us down in the street, with us shooting each other down in the street, with all the things that are being done to us, you know what I'm saying? Mass incarceration, a lack of wealth, gentrification, all these things basically thrown our way, and they're not trying to let us get no parts of the same situations that Caucasian people get in this country. But they give you a holiday to remind you of what they have done to you for over 200 to 400 years, well, 400 or 400, 500 years. And we rah like we are really free, but we forgetting about the real most important thing of all, and that's the rights of being a human being on this planet. Because right now, quiet is kept. We're being treated like second and third class citizens now. I think I would want some some kind of bill passed, you know, on police brutality in this country, basically killing black people for nothing. You know, you never think about stuff like that, but you think about damn holiday. That's why people. That's probably why Caucasian people are sitting back there laughing at us, because we think we're doing something when we're really not. And the whole visualization of this showing black women being more on the forefront than black men, that's a real cuss out. You know what I'm saying? Because I seen a lot of these Juneteenth flags and they got a number of black women faces on them. I ain't seen no black man face on them. It's like a silhouette of black woman face. I know what a black woman face look versus a black man face. See, they trying to push us black men to the side and bring the black women in. They think black women don't need no black man. But I'm finna give you a little schooling on why you need a black man. Look at your black kids. Look what they're doing out here in the streets. Young black men, I ain't talking about the female. They easy to deal with. But the young black men, they hard as hell to deal with. I remember back in the days when black women say, I would rather have me a little boy than a little girl, because little girls are hard to deal with. Little boys are easy to deal with. Really? Well, according to what I see out in these streets, they're not easy to deal with. Because these young men ain't trying to hear jack. And there's a reason why they don't want to hear jack. It's because ain't no strong father figure in the house to teach them jack. They got mama. Mama is their only salvation. And their mama gonna teach them what she know as a woman. So when you got this type of lifestyle going on, guess what? You're gonna have a young man. He gonna have the body complex of a man, but his mindset gonna be of a woman. So every time somebody says something or do something to him, guess what? He ain't gonna think twice. He gonna use a gun or some kind of weapon to get his point across, just like a woman. Most women ain't trying to just throw their hands or whatever what society. They feel emotional. They'll pick up a weapon or whatever. Then some of them probably will use their hands, but I'm just saying the whole emotional despair is being brought to a young man's mindset. That's why a lot of these young men around here are wussies. So quick to pick up a gun. Just like Pop said on Friday, you so quick to pick up a gun. You can't take an ass whoop. That's true. A lot of young men, they don't want to reconcile no situation. They damn sure ain't trying to throw no hand. They want to throw some bullets. They know when they shoot you, they can get over it and be through with it. And the reason why is because they have a mindset of a young woman. But if the father was there, where he could hear both sides of the coin, how to be a young man, how to handle responsibilities like a young man, you better have a better chance of them not trying to shoot each other upside the head. They might probably have a little fight, but that's cool because they'll still be alive. But, that's just my opinion. But it's the truth. So black women, if you're listening, I know my views are low, but if you do watch this video and you hear this part, one thing you need to understand, you do need a man. Don't ever think you don't need a man. Don't ever think that you can be independent, like the song say. Got your own house, you got your own car, 2 jobs, you a bad broad. That don't mean jack. Because we the only people on this planet who basically applaud being single and independent, when other race of people are sitting up there looking at us laughing because they think we're some fucking clowns by saying how happy and independent we are. But your kids are suffering. Because every time you can't do something, and you telling them that you're going to take them to the park or you're going to take them to a amusement park, take them to Chuck E. Cheese or McDonald's or any one of these little places, and you can't do it because you're too busy working 2 jobs, being independent, and you got them staying with somebody that probably can't get around like you can get around. So this child is basically building up all this stress pressure as he get older. And you got hell on your hands. Because when you come home, well, hold on. When you at work, you all on your knees, begging like a little puppy. Every time the boss man, the white boss man, is talking crazy to you, you yowza. But when you come home, you raising Cain to your kids. And your kids are listening. The kids are building that mindset up every year that passes by when they grow. So when they get older, they gonna remember all that stuff that you done and said to them. And they're gonna use it against you. That's the reason why Kevin Samuels said what he said, God rest his dead, about black women dying alone, being alone, gonna be alone till you die. Or die alone, or what? Yeah, he said die alone. And everybody was trying to be funny about, well, he died alone now. Ha 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 ha. But you don't even get what the message was. He was just basically saying that by you being the way you are, acting the way you are, and doing the stupid shit that you do, you're gonna be alone. Plain and simple as that. But anyway, it's 8:55. I guess I'll go ahead and wrap this up. And shout out to everybody that's watched, the little people that did watch. I think I see my bro, what is Spencer? Much love to you, bro. And my bro, my MC, Marco, you know what I'm saying? Much love, bro. I didn't see you until I looked on my other page. Because like I said, I'm running this program on 3 social media sites: YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch TV, and 2 other Facebook pages. And I guess everybody's out celebrating and doing whatever they're doing. This is Father's Day / Juneteenth. So everybody's pretty much doing their thing. So that's pretty much why my views are low tonight, which I can understand. You know, but anyway, much love and respect to you guys, man. The ones that watched tonight, you know. I see my guy, Uncle Hill's on here. Butchie, much love out there in Texas. And Miss Hinton. Hey, Miss Hinton, much love to you. I know you was watching. You know what I'm saying? I know you're going to give me an earful. You know, next time I see you, you call me or whatever. I guess you probably didn't know I had a podcast. A lot of people didn't know I had a podcast. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I've been doing this thing since, 2020? I think I started my first podcast 2020. I don't know. It's about 2020. I'm going to say 2020. What was it, 2000? Yeah, it was 2020. But anyway, much love and respect to you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get up off of here. As always, I'm going to show a few little videos and run the time down and get up out of here. But in the meantime, between time, y'all finish enjoying the rest of y'all day. It's your boy Chaos. Much love and respect to you guys. Y'all have a good night. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. Deuces.
At Southwestern High School in Indiana, the kids drill.
I see they're all running past this red line. What is that?
The red line is a security measure, and that's in place because if we stand behind this red line, if there's a shooter at the door, they cannot see the children.
And this is something schools can do right now. There's a red line on the ground.
Absolutely.
But here they go high-tech too. The classroom doors are bullet resistant. And cameras, so many cameras everywhere. And it's not just school officials watching either. They're connected live with the sheriff's department 10 miles away. Authorities can track an intruder in real time.
Every teacher here, you have your own panic button.
Yeah, we all wear a fob in case there's a security breach. We can push this button and the entire alarm system goes off in the school.
And something else I actually want to show you real quick. When that happens, every classroom has a box like this, also hooked up to the sheriff's department. The teacher can flip help if they actually see the suspect or they're in danger, or they can flip safe if the kids are.
I'm for separation, and I'm just gonna say that. I don't want to integrate. I don't want to be included in nothing they got going on. I don't want none of that. And if when I say something like that, it seems like I'm racist, right? Oh, black people get scared. Oh, wait a minute, you're trying to reverse civil rights, blah blah. No, I'm not trying to reverse civil rights, but let's just think about it. Because we think about separation and we think that that means like we have to hate everyone else and not deal with them. That's not what that means. Separation is Koreatown. Separation is Little Tokyo. Separation is Chinatown. Separation is Little Mexico. That's what separation is. Little India. That's separation. And in every major city, you have that. You have all these communities where they are and they own that space and they police their own communities and the money circulates within that community. That's separation. But where is ours?
Poor brother gives you children, can't get a job, you hard on your luck, now you gotta go to Uncle Sam. Go down before the slave master and pretend you don't have a man. Cause if you got a man, they won't give you no money. Am I right? Look at this, black man. You can't have a man in your house in order to receive help from the white man. So we know that you're not getting pregnant by yourself. Some man had to be there. But when you show up for help and assistance and money to the white man, the black man can't be at home. He's not willing to help both of you. So you go down there struggling with all your babies, force you into lying, stealing, and cheating. You got to become less of a woman to go receive help from the white man. But when you get your check and it's more than what he brought home, you have more admiration and love for the white man than you do for your own black man. This is by design. They meant to.
Please watch until the end.
Nigeria, which is, if not the most corrupt nation in Africa, and it is, it could be the most corrupt nation in the world, Minister Farrakhan.
Oh, and now, Mr. Wallace.
It is the most corrupt nation that I have ever covered. I've been there 25 years ago, and I've been there as recently as last year.
Fine. So what? 35 years old. That's what that nation is. Now here's America, 226 years old. You love democracy, but there in Africa, you're trying to force these people into a system of government that you just have accepted. 30 years ago, black folk got the right to vote. You're not in any moral position to tell anybody how corrupt they are. You should be quiet and let those of us who know our people go there and help them get out of that condition. But America should keep her mouth shut wherever there's a corrupt regime, as much hell as America has raised on the earth. No, I will not allow America or you, Mr. Wallace, to condemn them as the most corrupt nation on earth when you have spilled the blood of human beings. Has Nigeria dropped an atomic bomb and killed people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Have they killed off millions of Native Americans? How dare you put yourself in that position as a moral judge? I think you should keep quiet. Because with that much blood on America's hands, you have no right to speak. I will speak because I don't have that blood on my hands. Yes, there's corruption there. Yes, there's mismanagement of resources. Yes, there is abuse. There's abuse in every nation on earth, including this one. So let's not play holy to moralize on them. Let's help them.
I'm not moralizing. I'm asking a question, and I got an answer.
Why would you put it as the most corrupt regime in the world? That doesn't make sense.
Can you think of one more corrupt?
Yeah, I'm living in one.
Period.
I'm living in one. Yes. You've done a hell of a thing on this earth, so you should not be the one to talk. You should be quiet when it comes to moral condemnation, in my judgment. So fire.
No, that's good. That's good.
DJ Mix Master Chaos.
Food.